here, and if I need a cab back, I will just tell the agent I want a cab at the ITC hotel, and the agent is going to decide is it going to be Lyft or Uber or what that service is going to be. So the same problem is coming into retail where you say, look, I need to buy some eggs. And your agent is actually going to decide, is it going to use A, B, C, or X website based on so many factors. It could be the today's discounts. It could be about the way the last delivery happened. It has so much of information to decide that. And you fill 0 forms and it decides. So what happened to me is I don't know who my customer is. I'm going to be talking to an agent and I have to convince this agent to choose me. So the whole dynamics changed. So that is a huge problem coming at us, and we are creating the tentacles. So the first time Siri is going to be able to order something in Sri Lanka, Kapruka would be one of those that it can grab onto. So that's the challenge. I mean, the good part, of course, we can talk about hyper personalization, and then from pricing to all these, optimizations that AI is going to improve on retail, but that's kind of a given. It's no longer the big boys game anymore. I mean, I can just spend, put in a credit card, pay $30 and, boom, you go. It's no longer, high tech stuff anymore. All my competitors will also have the same thing. Would you like me to touch on how Sri Lanka is adapting into e-commerce?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really curious to hear how you're developing the workforce here as well to respond to this. I mean, obviously, this is relatively nascent in Sri Lanka compared to other markets. So interested to hear how, because you have a very highly capable workforce here, but how are you transitioning them over to this AI digital economy?
So the large corporates are, it's new to everybody here still, right? The large companies are obviously having, AI internships to that sort of stuff. But I see a huge gap in, if you look at the underserved population in a country like Sri Lanka, where it is still developing. I mean, the time that this AI education is going to get to them is going to take a very long time. So the private education system has a large role to play in this. If you remember, like in Sri Lanka or even in India, if you wanted to learn programming, 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't in your school curriculum, right? You had to go to like a private institute in the town and, do a course.
Yeah.
And get yourself educated. But now here in Sri Lanka, let's say there's 70% rural, for example, and okay, somebody in a rural city wants to learn AI, what do? I can't just say, okay, YouTube for everybody. There should be some more, formalized programs there. So there's a huge part that the private institutes needs to do in AI education.